Hi everyone, it's Squishy Makeover time with me, Squishy Exclusive. This is the fourth makeover inspired by the cartoon She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And the character today will be Glimmer, and there she is. So those are the colours I'm going to be inspired by. And hopefully get some of her personality into it too. So first thing we're going to do is sand the squishy. This squishy is really smooth and shiny, so it really needs sanding so the paint will stick. It's got very bright colours, so I'm adding a white base coat, so we'll have a nice blank canvas to paint on. And that was 3 coats of white paint. So I'm starting with the main colour, which, yes, it's blue. The original squishy was blue, but this is a much more perfect blue for what I'm trying to achieve. Going in for a second coat, you can really see the difference the second coat is making. Just adding the finishing touches of blue, and you might notice I've only done the top half of the squishy, and that's because the bottom is going to be this lovely pastel purple colour. These colours aren't straight from the tube, by the way. These are custom mixed to the exact shade that I wanted. So now I had to decide, do I keep a sharp line between the two colours or do I blend them into each other? And I decided to blend it, which you can see here, which I think looks really good. And I love the richness of the colours as well so far. They're still pale but rich. I wanted to introduce some pale pink, so that's going onto the narwhal horn. Now what I'm going to do is add some twinkling stars onto the narwhal. I'm using a cocktail stick. It starts out extremely small, but I do go in later and make them a bit bigger and a bit more obvious. Now for the eyes, I always find this to be the hardest thing because you're trying to get them, you know, even and looking the same, and it can be really difficult, especially on a round squishy like this. So starting with the white and then just layering up. I wanted to carry on with the purple theme, so it's a different shade of purple, and that's going to be the iris of the eye. And as always, make sure each layer is completely dry before you add the next layer. So if this purple goes completely wrong, then you can just get a damp cloth or paper towel, wipe it off, start again. You don't want a big splodgy mess because you're trying to put new paint on wet paint. So here's me doing the other side, trying to get it exactly the same. And then once that's dry, I take a very fine dotting tool and draw on the eyelashes in a dark purple, so there's no harsh black lines on this squishy. And then I'm going to take some white paint and add some highlights in the eyes. Again, make sure everything's dry before you try this, so if it goes wrong, wipe off, start again. And we're finished. Let's see the original squishy. It's squishable, it's fine I guess, it's just a bit boring, not keen on the eyes. And there's Glimmer, our makeover inspiration. Let's see the finished squishy. I present to you Glimmer the narwhal. The blue and purple work really well, and you can see how I've made the stars bigger and added more to really make it shine. She's just adorable. As it's a squishy, let's see how squishable it really is. Yep, it's still nice and squishable. So let's have another look at Glimmer, who inspired this squishy makeover. I've got all the colours apart from the darker pink because I thought it might be just a bit too busy. Let's see the rest of our She-Ra family. We've got Adora, who is the bear. We've got Catra with her blue eye and yellow eye, who is the dragon. Yes, I do know Catra should be a cat really, but you'll just have to go with it. And finally, Perfumer, who is the rabbit. So the family's all together, but there are many more characters still to go. So eventually we'll get around to doing those. But in the meantime, I'm really happy with what I've achieved so far, and I really love Glimmer the narwhal. More squishy makeovers on the way. It's bye from me, Squishy Exclusive. Bye!